So we're ready to finally shape the WASP 2.6 by Satoshi Kamiya. So the first part on this is going to be the abdomen. Get the abdomen in place, get these layers in place, get it curved, get it nicely shaped, and then we can start on the rest of the parts. So to get my glue out, then first of all we're just going to start open up these layers and just adding glue in between each one. Push them behind it. I probably won't talk as much when I do this during it, just so I can be as precise as possible. Put it out the screen. Leave it there. So remember, we don't want to go further than where the legs start, so near enough. Here we don't want to go past this part. So this is where the leg begins, this is where the wings begin, so we can't go any further than here, so I can actually go down much more. so I can come down this far. So that's near enough all this side glued. In fact, there's still a few bits on top. But once you do all this side, repeat it on the other side. So now repeat everything that we've glued here on the left side on the right hand side. Right, so I've now done that on the right side, on the outside. So I've done it on both sides, only on the outside. So now the tricky part is that I'm not going to show you how to do this because I really need to be precise. You need to open it up and as best as possible and as cleanly apply glue on the inside of these layers, because we've got on the outside which sticks together, but when we open up you see it spreads open. We don't want that. We want it to stay absolutely thin as possible, so that way we get the best outcome to when we shape. So take your time, open up and apply glue in between all these layers. Again, only up to here. So good luck with that, and it's going to be tough, so take your time and be precise. I've glued as much as I could on the inside. I couldn't get down here, so that's the only part I couldn't really glue. And I've also glued inside this wee layer as well. I would have tried to glue it in between all these layers, but it's just too tricky. I don't want to risk adding too much glue or the paper being ripped, etc. So anyway, once we look at how thin it is, it's much thinner and it should be easier to shape. So now we're going to make one long mountain fold along here, straight along, and then we're going to do valley folds here and here. Like so. And then this is where having all these inside layers glued helps. Basically just going to fold it in half. And then like that. And we can fix it later on when we come to it. And then I'm going to make small mountain folds. Basically we're going to add crimps to curve the body, give it a nice curve. So I'm going to add wherever these pleats are, make a mountain fold right on it. And then a valley fold a wee bit over. So this one isn't particularly straight. Mountain fold here. Like that. And that gives a nice curve. So we're going to do that for all these. Again, I'm only putting them in dry now without any glue, just to make sure it's actually correct before I glue it all. So it gives a nice curve to it, but that's basically the idea of to shape it. I'm going to do it again off camera to make sure I'm 100% happy with it, and then we'll come straight back. Right, so I've just added the crimps. So far they're great in place, but of course they come undone slightly because I keep moving about the paper, but these crimps add a really nice curve to the body. And then we valley fold this up and sink this part inside. Basically just wrap it around underneath. And then we have this curve. If we don't have the curve, the body will be straight. We don't want it straight, we want a nice curve. So these crimps that we apply here will add that really nice curve to get that 3D effect. And then, so for the final part of the abdomen, before we move on to probably this part, yep. So before we do that, we first of all need to make like the wee spike part on the end. So the spike part doesn't come from here, it comes from near enough halfway up, because from here to here is way too long, the body would be way too long, and the amount that we curve it sort of indicates where to go. So the curve comes here and then round about here. So I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do this, so it's just a matter of folding the layers together to basically get something like that. And then when we glue this here, we can pull it out to cover it, to give it more depth to it. And obviously make a wee pinch if we need to, so I'm going to do that now actually. So I'm going to glue right here. And then get my tweezers, I'm going to pull as much as possible. Yep, that's perfect. Like that. And then I'm going to glue the inside of here. Again, just to hold it in place. Like so. Then we could even fold a wee bit up. No, in fact that doesn't look good. To make the spike, but the spike isn't too... You don't really need it desperately, but you can always try and make one. But anyway, that's basically the abdomen done. I'm going to go off camera again and put in all the rest of the details and make sure they're all held in place before we continue. So we're practically a good bit there. So hopefully you managed to get this part so far, and I'm going to touch up all the details and then we'll continue. Right, so now that the pleats are in place, I'm really happy with the results. I'll add the finishing details at the very end once everything is completely shaped. So now, this is abdomen. And we have this ripped slightly here, but that's because of the glue I added, but you don't see that anyway, so that's a good thing. You can just, where's my wee tool? And if you make this a soft mountain fold, right here, and then just pull these parts around, you'll get a nice curve to it. So this is what I mean, the angle. When you shape a wasp, you don't want it to be straight like that. Got a nice curve to it. So I can then curve the legs to the body to make it look good. So next step is to glue this middle part. Get this completely glued and in shape and ready to go. So this is the part that comes over the pleats in the body, so that hides a lot, and then like that. So we need to make sure that we glue all these layers nice and neat, so no extra parts get seen. So we're going to do that. Once I change my battery, it's going to die. The right side is looking fine because all the layers are hidden, but the left side, some of the layers are sticking out, so we need to fix these layers first. What seems to be the problem here? So can I just fold this around? So that hides it, but I need to use tweezers. You don't need to worry about how the layers are acting inside, because you won't see them. So that's fine. So I'm going to glue the right side first because I know this is perfect. So again, all the layers down to basically here. So all these layers from this line and here up we need to glue. And again, just take your time when you're doing this. Make sure you're actually gluing all the correct layers. And not to go past this line here. So that seems a bit fine to this side as well. Need to open this up. And every time you glue, just make sure that all the layers are actually hidden before you fully glue. But you could hide it after if they're not, but it's always easier just to make sure they are. That should be enough. Just need to add a wee bit more glue here to fill it close up this part. So that's near enough perfect. So now we're going to glue this part, basically this T shape, in here. In fact, I need to glue the inside of this as well first, that's what I forgot to do. And we're going to open this up. Managed to glue it inside here is no idea. Let me see. I need to try and open it up. So I'm inside here. How did I get in between these layers? Yeah, I see a pocket. Don't think I'll be able to get in between every single one, but if I can apply an even amount, then it should be enough to hold it all together. Just add some, then start mixing it all about. Then some on the right hand side. And that wee pocket in there. There we go. So there. If I added a wee bit too much here, ruined the layer up there, but it doesn't matter. So that's that glued in place. I'm going to glue these final wee bits here. Check this side. And we're good to go. Put a wee bit of glue here as well. Right, so there we go. Now you can glue this middle bit, because this will hold in place. That. So let me see if I peg it there, won't be able to do that. I'm going to fold these layers behind first. Just to get them out of the road. I'll come back to this later on. I'm just doing this now so it makes it easier for the next part. All these layers. So now we want to make a mountain fold near enough at the bottom of it, because we're going to valley fold here as well at the head and then here, so it's going to create like an extra layer, like an extra level above. So a straight mountain fold all the way down. Doesn't need to be absolutely massive. So like that, and then we're just going to start curving. Again, it depends what type of shape you want for it. I'm not sure if there's any right or wrong shape to do. So you could just make it like a wee circle or more curve round the way. So I'll try something like that. And then I'll just curve these ends. And then I'll curve the top of these wee pleats, of this wee edge. Tweezers will help. The good thing about this is you don't need to be precise when you do it, because it's a wasp, it's supposed to be realistic in a way. You don't need to have everything identical. Like that. So when I close this together, bring that down, that creates the centre part. And then I'll do the exact same what we've done under here, right here when we come to make the head. And then that will be that. So I'm going to glue it in here, peg it, make sure it all sticks, and then we can continue. So I'm going to add some more glue, and here I want all this to stick. Can I glue anything here? Yep. I can glue these little edges. Tweezers there or there. I don't think I can. No, I can't. There. So I'm going to bring these legs down first. In fact, I need to keep them up. It'll be easier. So let me peg it in the peg. So that's perfect, like that. So if I did a peg here, it's easier from the top than the bottom. And then I can just glue these wee layers behind. So I'll fold these layers back over. Then I can glue this wee part there and there. That's perfect. I'm happy with that. So there. So that's going to hold in there and dry. This is going to dry like this. Once that's dried, I'll take this off, put this down and finish the crimp in here as well. So I'll do the exact same here and here, near enough. And then we can continue. Took the peg off, it's all dry. Abdomen's perfect, this part's perfect. Again, I'll do all the final adjustments when everything is shaped and in place, like curve this down and give the abdomen a more curve and maybe even hide this extra paper, but I'll do that when everything's near enough fully shaped. So, I'm going to go with the back legs now. I'm only going to show one, then of course you do the exact same on the other side. Same applies to the other legs. I'm only going to show one leg. You do the same method on the rest of them. Of course, front two are the legs, and then with the big one and the small one touching each other, that's the wings, and then this one is the leg. So I'll get to this part again once we do the rest of this. It's slightly different. So I'll show one of these, and then it's the same with the next two sets of legs, the wings, and then the front leg. So for the leg, as you can see, for brightness, just purple. So the leg, we have it comes up, we have a wee pleat crimp, comes down, then a sort of pleat gap, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 pleats, and then the rest. So let me draw that out. So we have, comes up, then we have a pleat or a crimp, then it comes down, then a pleat, and then down a bit, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then half. So something like that. So we're going to try and replicate this leg. So depending on how much I can do from this angle, if I can't get precise, I'll need to do it off camera. Should be plenty. So again, I'm just going to start by gluing these back layers. I'll just do the left side first. Do these inside parts. I'm always double checking to make sure I've got all the layers glued on one side. So again, I'll open up and do the ones on the inside now. So I'm going to really thin down this leg in order to get all those 4 pleats at the very end done accurately. Okay, that's that side done. Just double check, make sure I've not missed any side. And to do that, you just try and open up. If there's any parts that open, then you've missed. This wee bit here. I have to leave that because that'll close that up and I won't be able to fully get inside. So that side's done, so again, open it back up and glue all this side. All the layers on this side. So just repeat gluing all the layers on this side. I'm not going to go through all of them because it'll take a while. So I'll cut to the next part. Right, now that everything is glued on the right leg, again you can see the difference in the thickness compared to that one. All the layers are spread out. Where you glue all the layers on one side and on the other, they get super thin. So this part here is the wee spike part. So this is where the first, this is where this plate will be the second one. This is where the wee spike comes out. Right on the second one. So let's start thinning it down. Again, normally, like this, I would fold it in half. But if I do that, it would overlap this pleat, so I can't, so I need to fold it the other way. This way the pleat is still here, so when I fold it in half again, that will stick out, which is just what we need. So as best as possible, fold it all in half. In fact, I need to glue this wee bit more. Like this. I can fix all these layers when I put my extra glue, everything in place. So try and get half as good as you can, like that. And then we're going to half it again. try to think if it's easier to do the pleats than now and then half it. Yeah, I think it would. So this, in fact, let me have it first. Yeah, because then it'll be too thick. Let me just quickly see if I can do that. So if I fold it in half, this way I could still get that pleat out, which is good. That would make it easier to shape, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the pleat on the underside, and then when I come to actually using this, I can pull it out. Yep, so I'm going to glue this inside layer. I'm going to open this half back up and then glue it all on the inside. And then I'll add the first 4 pleats now, and that'll give me a good reference to where they should be. So we need a wee bit left at the bottom that doesn't have anything, so we'll make this first. In fact, my battery's going to die, I need to change it again. Right, so battery's changed. That's halved. We're going to add the first of the 4 crimps. We're going to start with the bottom one, and then do this one, this one, and this one. So I'm going to do 4, and then I can make the crimp and then decide how much distance between the next ones I need to use. So there needs to be a wee bit left for the bottom, so we'll probably go about here, because I can really thin this down a lot. Yep, a wee bit less actually. There's one. See how much it is. Two. Yeah, that's perfect. Needs to be a bit more. 3, 1, 2, 3, one more. Again, you don't need to worry too much about distance on these. Four. So we have 4 pleats. So again, now we're going to half everything. The hell's a bit of fluff. I'm going to half here first, so they hold in place, and then I can curve them and angle them. So let me just see, we've got the 4, and then a gap. And then this is where the wee spike is. Yep, so curves up here, comes down, gap, gap. So that's fine. Right, so I'm good. Yep, so I need to add a wee. Perfect, that's exactly what I want. Right, maybe. Yeah, I'll go with that. So I'm going to go off camera and put all this in place. I'm going to glue again all these layers. I'm going to use some MC as well. And then we'll sort all this. Right, now that everything is glued on the right leg, again you can see the difference in the thickness compared to that one. All the layers are spread out. Where you glue all the layers on one side and on the other, they get super thin. So this part here is the wee spike part. So this is where the first, let me see. This is where this plate will be the second one. This is where the wee spike comes out. Right on the second one. So let's start thinning it down. Again, normally, like this, I would fold it in half. But if I do that, it would overlap this pleat. So I can't, so I need to fold it the other way. This way the pleat is still here, so when I fold it in half again, that will stick out, which is just what we need. So as best as possible, fold it all in half. In fact, I need to glue this a bit more. Like this. I can fix all these layers when I come actually glue everything in place. So try and get half as good as you can, like that. And then we're going to half it again. Try to think if it's easier to do the pleats than now, and then half it. Yeah, I think it would. So this, in fact, let me have it first. Yeah, because then it'll be too thick. Let me just quickly see if I can do that. So if I fold it in half. This way I could still get that pleat out, which is good. That would make it easier to shape, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the pleat on the underside, and then when I come to actually using this, I can pull it out. Yep, so I'm going to glue this inside layer. I'm going to open this half back up, and then glue it all on the inside. and then I'll add the first 4 pleats now, and that'll give me a good reference to where they should be. So we need a wee bit left at the bottom that doesn't have anything, so we'll make this first. Right, my battery's going to die, I need to change it again. That's halved. We're going to add the first with the 4 crimps. I'm going to start with the bottom one and then do this one, this one and this one. So I'm going to do 4, and then I can make the crimp and then decide how much distance between the next ones I need to use. So there needs to be a wee bit left for the bottom, so we'll probably go about here, because I can really thin this down a lot. Yeah, a wee bit less actually. There's 1. Let's try to see how much I should use. Yeah, this will be perfect. Needs to be a bit more. 3. 1, 2, 3, 1 more. Again, you don't need to worry too much about the distance on these. Four. So we have 4 pleats. So again, now we're going to half everything. The hell's a bit of fluff. I'm going to half here first so they hold in place, and then I can curve them and angle them. So let me just see, we've got the 4, and then a gap, and then this is where the wee spike is. Yep, so curves up here, comes down, gap, gap. So that's fine. Right, so I'm good. Let me just see. Yep, so I need to add a wee. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Right, maybe. Yeah, I'll go with that. So I'm going to go off camera and put all this in place. I'm going to glue again all these layers. I'm going to use some MC as well. And then, so now that both legs are done, I did it on the other one as well. So the glue is starting to dry. I'm going to add in the rest of the details once the glue is almost fully set, because then I can keep them in place. So it was really tricky to get these 4 pleats in place and hold. So I think I've just got it. So again, do the exact same on the next 2 flaps. So the next 2 flaps is still the leg, and then the 2 that are combined, the big and small, is the wings. So do the exact same on the next two, but because the next two is slightly smaller, you probably won't be able to get 4 pleats, so just go with 3 or even 2. So yep, exact same on these next 2 layers. So now what we're going to do is, the legs are done, back legs done, abdomen's done. Again, I'll finish with details at the end. We're going to put the head in place. We're not going to glue it. We're going to put it in place first. Hide this extra layer which was hidden previously. I just forgot it was actually tucked in without showing. And then we'll do the wings. And then last set of legs and then the head. So to make the head, the part that I wasn't sure of the whole time, but now I'm pretty sure I figured it out. So first of all, we need to sink this part inside. So open up, grab here, like that, just pull. And then if we turn it around, as you can see, this part is coming down. We need it to go the other way. So we need to force it down this way. And then close it back up. Like that. Next step is to fold up, and then fold a rabbit ear on this part. And then take this point and put it to this corner here. And then just repeat the process on this side. So again, rabbit ear. Take the point and fold it to that side. And then when you do that, naturally you'll pull excess paper out from this centre part, so just close this up. And I'll flatten it. There. And then again, make a rabbit ear fold on this flap. So just take edge to edge. Like that. And then the same here. I already done this earlier just to make sure I was completely correct. So I've got these creases already in place to help. Like that. Now take this top part and fold it down, basically just about that amount. So it's just under this wee flap here. And then we're going to take this edge and fold it to the centre. And then where it comes up about here, you make a valley fold right here, or a mountain fold where this line is. And then just fold it all over and fold this part down. Like that. And you'll get that. and then just repeat it on this side. And it's much more trickier when it's not glued, so I'm going to put it all in place first, and then I'll glue it all off stream, because again I want to be precise. I don't need to show you to glue it in between every layer. There. So it should have something like this. And then you repeat the process with this part. You just fold this inside these layers to tuck it and hide it away. Then that gives you the final leg. And then for the head, you just want to make from here, from where these points are, just valley folds. Basically the same as here, but we're doing it here. Like that. And that basically gives you the head. But again, we need to glue all this before we can actually go ahead and finish it. So when you bring it all together, that gives you that. So that is how to do the head. So basically now unfold all this, re-glue it all, and then put it back in place. Right, for the wings, again there's no easy way to do this for the wings. Basically, it's easier if your paper is the same colour on both sides, but because mine's isn't, it's a bit more tricky. But I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do this actually. I'll just tuck this underneath for now just to hide it. There, so that's hidden. So that's what it'll look like once you glue it all. So just fold the wings up, spread the top layer, and then you'll tuck this underneath to get a wing. And then the same with the bottom one underneath. I could fold it over. See, like that, and that gives you a nice wing. And then the one underneath, just separate it. Then it's just a matter of pulling out some layers to get a nice shape. So again, I'm going to do all this off camera because I really want to be precise. It's just a matter of making a nice shape for a wing and then gluing it. See, that'll be perfect, like that. So I'm going to glue all this off camera and then we'll get to the final